guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build, and today I am finally sharing that mansion build with you guys, the one I've been talking about. Unfortunately, I am separating it into two parts. I don't like to do that. Actually, I've never done that on my channel, so hopefully you guys don't mind. But this took me a very, very long time to build. It took me over 11 hours to complete. And I honestly didn't think it took me that long. I thought it came together really quickly, but I think because I split it over so many different days and so many different building sessions, it felt like it went really quickly because I'd spend an hour here, an hour there, and I thought that this build took me maybe 6 hours. No, twice as long. But anyway, so that's why it is in two parts, and I didn't want to cut that much out of it, so I decided to leave a lot of it in. I think I only cut out some little bit of landscaping, and then for the interior I did some of the hallways. I really don't think it's very much, but anything that was repetitive is what I cut out. But I wanted you guys to see the whole process and the whole thing come together because I am so happy with the way it turned out. I think it's probably one of my best builds, if not my best build, because yeah, it's just really cool. I mean, it's probably not what you would think of as a mansion. It doesn't have a whole heap of bedrooms. It has 4 bedrooms, but I mean, that's still quite a bit of bedrooms. You could have more, really, because there is a basement, which I haven't done a basement in forever, so I'm really happy I was able to fit one in here. But there's also this extra wing that I imagine used to be a garage, and they've converted it now to a gym. But if you would like to have that as an extra bedroom, that would be the perfect place to. You could probably even split that up into 2 or 3 bedrooms. I'm not even kidding. There's so much space. But anyways, so I do hope you guys like this build. I know I've been talking about it a lot, so hopefully I don't disappoint. I think it's really cool. Oh, there's also, so this is the exterior of the build. So everything will be completed exterior wise, even all of the outside furnishings. So for the exterior, there is a basketball court, which I thought would be so cool. And that is very rich house to me. I mean, sometimes I think more of tennis courts, but since we don't have tennis in the game, I've seen people make tennis courts and they look awesome, but I wanted it to be useful, and since we do have basketball in the game, I made a basketball court, so I thought that was really cool. And then there's also little hangout areas. There's a barbecue area that also has a bar and a swimming pool. There's a gazebo, there's a couple fountains, there's a little play area for the kids, so there's some monkey bars and a sandbox. And for the sandbox, some of you guys may have seen me do that before. I've done it in some of my other builds, but it basically, I take one of the shortest fences and make a rectangle, and then I put sand with the terrain paint on the inside, and then just put toys in it, so it kind of looks like a sandbox. You can't dig in it or build sand castles or anything, but I think it looks kind of cool. And then oh, but if you haven't seen the season's expansion pack and you don't want to be spoiled, the trailer, if you haven't seen the season's trailer, my god, I cannot talk. If you haven't seen that, don't want to be spoiled, then just mute it for a second. But we get swing sets, and a swing set would be so cool in the backyard. Oh, it'd be so nice. I can't wait to add them. But there's plenty of room if you would like to add one. If you decide to download this into your game, the link will be in the description for the entire build if you would like to see the whole build furnished before I share the second half of this video, which will be the entire interior. Yeah, then you can check it out there. But what else do I have on the exterior? Oh yeah, I have a couple of massage chairs. So since I decided to make an exercise wing, I imagine that the at least the parents of this family are very into athletics, because they have the whole basketball court and then they have a whole home gym. So outside of the home gym, I decided to put some massage tables, and then there's also the hot tub. So that's pretty cool. I thought about making another basement area for a spa, so that's something you could add. I decided not to because I didn't really have a great place to put a staircase to the downstairs or make it a staircase to another basement area. And then it didn't really make sense to have a spa off of the regular basement area. You'll see what I mean when I do the interior, but the regular basement area is right, it's close to the regular staircase to the upstairs. We'll get to it next part. But for this part, let's worry about the exterior. So as you guys can see, the shape is coming together. I decided to go for the very traditional beachy kind of sea colors, so lots of light blues and whites, especially for the exterior, and lots of some grays too, so the roof tiles are gray. There's some like stone accents, and then all of the paper for the walls are all blue and white. So I think that looks really pretty, and I was originally thinking about going for more of like a darker color scheme, but I decided not to in the end. I do like the way those look, and I would like to build another Brindleton Bay house that's a large one like this, maybe not a mansion, but a bigger build, and go for a darker color scheme, maybe on so if you're familiar with Brindleton Bay, this is the 64 by 64 lot, and then to the left of the lot, if you're looking at the front, there's a tiny little beach lot, and then there's a couple other lots behind the road, and then there's another larger lot way off to the left. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Maybe for that lot, because I haven't built on that lot yet, maybe I'll do a darker color scheme. I think that'd be kind of cool. Let me know if you guys are interested in that, but I kind of want to build on every lot in this world because it is probably my favorite world. I really enjoy Brindleton Bay, and I love building in this style. If you guys haven't noticed, I've shared a lot of builds with this sort of like, I guess it's a Hamptons style. I don't know if it really is or not, or if it's some sort of East Coast style, I believe. I've never been to the East Coast, so I can't say. The farthest east I have ever been is Ohio. Well, that's not true. I have been to Florida, but that was to change like flights, so that doesn't count. So yeah, I'm not too familiar with this style, even though I really like to build it in The Sims, and I like to look at pictures online, especially on Pinterest. I'm like, they're so pretty. And yeah, so hopefully you guys don't get sick of me building these kinds of builds, because I don't know how many I've actually shared, but I've built a lot. But yeah, I don't know what to exactly call them, because I feel like they're like barn-shaped pieces on the house, and I don't know if there's a technical name for it. There probably is. I'm definitely no architect. But speaking of architecture, I felt like this roof needed some sort of I guess some sort of piece sticking out of the top. I felt like it looked a little bit kind of flat and boring. I decided to slant these few pieces of roofing up to make it look like it has a little bit more dimension to it. But then later on, I do go in and add some sort of little bits sticking out of it. I do not know any technical terms, and it's becoming very obvious. But I do know the word for them, and I can't think of it right now because I do that in a lot of speed builds. I have all of the words before I press record, and then I press record and I don't remember anything, and I don't have the time to pause it and look it up and then re-record stuff, so we're going to keep going. But I do add some decoration to the roofing. The tiles for the roof pieces don't exactly match, but it doesn't bother me, so I don't really care. I was able to fit some in this area of the build just to add some windows, and I do make that part of the roof accessible, and I create kind of like a little artist loft. And I did create a family for this house, and I did record it, so if you guys would like to see, please let me know. If not, I'll just upload them to the gallery. But I created a mom and a dad, and they're both active, I believe, because of, like I was talking about, all of the sporting equipment. And then I gave them different traits other than that, but I wanted them to have like that in common. I thought that'd be kind of cool. And then I gave them a teenage daughter, and she's the one that has the artist loft. I thought she was really artistic. If you didn't want to have that space for that and you wanted to have a butler or something, I thought that'd make probably a nice little butler suite because it's upstairs, it's out of the way, and they could have their own room technically. So that's a possibility, but I liked it for an artist loft. I think that would be so cool to have in a house. And then they also have a son who is a child sim, and for him, I didn't really do anything too particular. He has some like sciencey stuff in his room, so maybe he's a bit of a science geek. Maybe he's into, I did just kind of imagine he was into school and kind of like building stuff and science projects and those kinds of things. And then they do have a toddler who is a little toddler girl, so she doesn't have too much of a personality. I just gave her kind of a cutesy little pink and purple room. Actually, is it too pink and purple? I can't remember exactly what I did. We'll have to see in the next part. It feels so weird to say in the next part since I've never done a two-part video before. It's kind of interesting, but hopefully you guys don't mind. I do prefer to share things all in one go because that's how I prefer to watch things, but this was just not one that was going to be really that good of a video, I think, because I would have had to cut so much out, so that's no fun. I didn't want to do that, and plus I didn't want to have to talk for like an hour straight, or probably, I don't know how much I could have cut it down to, because I cut it actually worked out really perfectly. I put all of the files into my video editor, and I edited it all, and then I realized like it split perfectly down the middle at about 30 minutes. The interior is a little bit longer, so I'm going to go through and try to cut some of that out, but I was like, oh, well, this is probably the best opportunity to do a two-part video since I pretty much did the entire exterior and then did the entire interior. And yeah, they're both about 30 minutes, so that's pretty cool, I think. But anyways, so for this back part of the house, I was gonna do kind of like a raised bed area. I've seen some people do that. It looks really cool when they do it. I've never really done it successfully, and I ended up not doing it here either. I just make the porch a little bit larger, and that's where I end up putting like the barbecue bar area, which I think looks really cool. And yeah, I don't know, but this is basically the structure of the house. This is pretty much how it looks. It did take me a really long time to figure out what I was going to do with the landscaping, because I knew I wanted to have the basketball court like I was talking about. I wanted to have a pool, and I wanted to have a gazebo, and then other than that, I was like, I don't really know what to add to fill in this space, so it did take me a while to mess off camera. But anyways, at this point, I had done the floor planning. As you can see, there's a little bit of furniture in there because I was trying to sort out which rooms were going to be what, because I didn't want to complete the exterior before I had the interior sorted out, because I've made that mistake on a lot of bigger builds where I just kind of complete all of the landscaping and everything, and then I go in and realize that the floor plan sucks and it's really difficult. And I mean, this floor plan's not perfect. Somebody could probably do it better, but I think I did all right. But these are the roof decorations that I was talking about, so I just think it adds a little bit of dimension to it, and I think it makes it look a little bit better. So at this point, I decided to add another porch on this side, and that's the exit to the in-home gym. And so this is where I put the hot tub. It's just kind of like a relaxing area. Maybe after you've had a hard workout, you can come out here and soak in the hot tub, have a massage, whatever you prefer to do. So I thought that was really nice. You could also turn this portion of the house into like a mother-in-law suite. I thought that would be really nice. It was something I considered when trying to figure out what to do with this extra wing of the house. I end up putting another living room in that wing. I do like a formal living room and then like a family lounge room. So that's in there, as well as like the stairway to the artist loft. There's also a laundry room. And what else is down there? A bathroom. And then there's the gym. But there's like the gym area is really big and it's pretty empty because I didn't want to like overcrowd it with gym equipment, but you could definitely split it up into like another bedroom if you need it, like I was talking about. But here I am sorting out the entryway. I do this little fountain, which I think looks really pretty. And it took me a while to decide off camera how all this was going to work out. I did several different attempts, so it was very time consuming to figure out how I wanted to do this. I didn't know if I wanted to do a fence around the perimeter of the house because there's already basically a fence surrounding the house anyways, because there's already like a driveway on this lot and there's a big gate that leads into it, so I didn't really know if I wanted to close it off, but I decided to in the end, because I imagine that if these Sims are this wealthy and have this big of a house, they probably want as much security as possible, because technically the fence doesn't enclose around the lot, it does lead to the beach. So if there's like a wandering, you know, person on the beach, they could just come up into your yard, and that may not be ideal for these Sims. I don't know. That's kind of what I was thinking anyways. And then right here, I was trying to place a fence, and I ended up having this horrible fence glitch again, but I was able to solve it by exiting the game here in a little bit, and then I come back in, and yeah, all of my fences were put back to normal. So that's kind of interesting. I've been having a little bit of glitches that I've noticed with my builds just pretty recently, maybe in the past couple of weeks, and the fence glitch is an old one, but I've noticed it more than I have in the past, so I think it's kind of back. And then another glitch that I've noticed is some of the trees get dark pretty quickly when I'm not very far away from them, so that's a new one. And it especially happens with the one Brindleton Bay tree that or the one that came with Cats and Dogs, that's the cottonwood tree, I think it's called, so with the white bark. That one, if you get like hardly any distance away from it at all, it turns like really dark, like it's in the shadows. So I don't know if that's my game or my settings. I'm not sure. I doubt it because I haven't changed anything. So let me know if you guys are having that glitch. But now I'm starting with the landscaping, and at first I do just white and green flowers, but I do go back in and add some orange flowers, which I thought was kind of fun and added a bit of contrast. I mean, hopefully you guys like it. I feel like they probably do stand out a little bit, but I think it's pretty, and yeah, I do like the way it turns out. And so I decided over here I wanted to have like a little hangout area, and I end up putting just a couple of chess tables over here because I thought about putting a dining table over here, but I didn't think it made much sense to have another dining area when I already have one by the pool and there's already the barbecue area. So I wasn't sure if I should have another like barbecue out here. So I thought chess tables would work, and I don't end up adding them till later on. But you could switch them out for whatever you prefer to have in your Sims yards or gardens. But anyways, so now I'm just working on some more of the landscaping, just kind of marking out the flower beds. So it did take me a while to decide how I wanted to do that. I wasn't sure if I should like kind of block in actual flower beds with like fences and make them more like square rectangular shapes. I decided to do these more organic looking flower beds instead. I think it looks a lot nicer. And I kind of do them in random places throughout the yard. You'll notice it more in the screenshots because I can't remember how much of it I did cut out. I show these like these first few ones because just to kind of give you an idea. But I mean, it's like the same plants over and over and basically all the same design throughout the entire yard. But I wanted them to kind of be more sporadic and not as super tidy, but still kind of tidy in a way. I imagine they would have a gardener because it is quite a big yard. So I don't know, but hopefully you guys do like that. Landscaping is one of my favorite things to do. But anyways, at this point is when I felt like I needed a little bit more color, and I felt like this little pop of orange was really nice, and I felt like even though the blue on the house is so light, I felt like it was still a little bit contrasting to the blue on the house. So I don't know if that really works. I mean, I'm not a designer, so, but I think it looks cool anyhow. So at this point, I'm trying to decide how I want the fence to go around the yard, and I decided to shrink this in a little bit because I knew I wanted to have those little square pieces that I made down by the basketball court, and I wanted to have a little bit more side yard on the other side of the fence to fit trees and stuff. So that's why I brought it in a little bit and just added another flower bed over here. And see, I just skipped a little bit ahead, but that's, you know, it's the same. It's all the same. And then I decided to separate the backyard from the front yard and put in those romantic garden gates, which are so pretty. And I love that the actual gate is black. It has like the black iron railing, I guess you would say, and I think that's really pretty. And over here I was gonna do like this little seating area in that octagonal piece that pokes out by the pool, but I decided not to in the end and create a pathway to the beach. So, and then I put another gate over there. But I just placed those gates that I was talking about. You'll get a closer look at them in the screenshots, but I think those are really pretty and I haven't used them in a long time. And I just realized at that moment that I hadn't placed those one little white plants that we got with Outdoor Retreat, I believe. I only placed them in the front and not anywhere else. So I go back through and add them throughout just to kind of make it a little bit more the same throughout, I guess. Just to make it a little bit more seamless, I guess you could say. Or what is the word I'm looking for? Cohesive? Yeah, cohesive. But anyway, so this is where those massage tables will be, just in this nice little private area, but you know, hidden over by the trees. Super cute, like that a lot. And then, oh yeah, I do an outdoor kind of greenhouse garden area. We will definitely be able to fix this up once we get seasons, because we will actually be getting glass roofs in an update, so you could probably create some really cool greenhouse in this area if you decide to download this, and then you buy seasons as well. So this is the basketball court area, and I am so happy with the way this turned out. I wasn't sure if I should use the same fence that I was using the whole time, because I was kind of thinking it should probably be like a higher fence. That way there's less chance of the basketball actually flying out into the beach. But I figured it's not going to do that because it's The Sims, so it doesn't really matter. If it was real life, I guess it would, but I decided to keep it all the same. That way there wasn't like a, you know, weird random fence here in the back. It was all the same throughout the entire build, but I think it looks really nice, and yeah, I'm just really happy with the way this turned out in general. And then I create a path over by the pool leading to it, so it just kind of, I don't know, I think it flows really nicely, and just, yeah, really happy with the way it looks in the end. And there I skipped ahead on working out that pathway that I just mentioned, because it took me a very long time to figure out how it should look and if I should have it kind of like curved towards it. It was a whole big process, so sorry that I cut it out, but here I am creating the gazebo. I do like to place the roof down on the ground and then kind of draw around it with the wall tool just to create the right size. I wouldn't be that hard to do otherwise, but it's just a little bit easier for me, so just to save a little bit of time. And then yeah, what do? I do a little seating area inside the gazebo. I thought about putting like that little fire pit coffee table in there, but I decided not to in the end, because I end up putting another fire pit out here in one of the little hangout areas. And I thought about making the pathway to the beach from the gazebo, but like I said, where they have that little octagonal piece jetting out from the pool, that's where I end up doing it instead. And here I am trying to be very careful to place that gate. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but I went in like this very straight line with the gate, trying to not hit any of the other fences, because I didn't want it to glitch out on me again and have to exit out and come back into the game. But yeah, I was gonna do a seating area over here, but ended up not keeping that one in the end. And yeah, and I end up moving the monkey bars and the sandbox over by the gazebo and have like a little playground area. And then the other side of the gazebo is empty, so if you would like to place other equipment over there, you could probably place a slip and slide somewhere as well from, what did that come with? Backyard stuff, I think. I haven't played with that item too much. When I first got that pack, I did a little bit, but it's just such a large object that I just never place it in any build, but I think it could probably fit somewhere in this build if you would like. But I decided to place this same fountain that I have in the front of the house over here, just to kind of add a little bit of decoration, and plus fountains are nice and they're pretty sounding, so like to have those. And then I did add a few trees around kind of randomly. Oh, and then I add some lounge chairs next to the pool, so I thought those were really nice. And now your Sims won't technically use these exactly like lounge chairs, but I've been told from people who've downloaded my builds where I have kind of made those lounge chairs that the Sims will still lay down or sit on the ottoman part, so that's pretty cool. They kind of work, so if it bothers you that they can't really use them like lounge chairs, then just delete the ottoman part, but I think they look really cool. Hopefully we will get lounge chairs at some point, maybe with seasons. I haven't seen it so far. If not, maybe in the future we'll get some sort of tropical pack and we'll get lounge chairs. I would really like to see a tropical pack. That would be amazing. I don't know what that would all come with. It would get like another vacation world. That would be, well, I see we already got Salvadorado, which is tropical, but it's like jungly tropical. I want more of like your white sandy beach tropical. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, so now I'm just decorating the sandbox with toys. I haven't play tested the sandbox at this point, but I will play test it to make sure the Sims can play in all of the different items. Since I did create an entire family for this build, I wanted to make sure that I made sure like that the toddlers could use everything that they were supposed to, and the kids. So usually when I play test, I just make one adult and make sure they can at least get to every object. So if it's like a kid's bed, they can sit on it, or a kid's chair, they can sit on it in their room. But that one, I'll make sure the sandbox works before I upload this to the gallery. And then I decided to put a fence around that greenhouse area. I thought about putting windows around the walls to make it more of a greenhouse, but I kind of liked it all open and I thought it was really pretty. And then I ended up putting a table in there as well, with a few like gardening items on there, which I thought was really cute. And then so over here is where I end up doing the barbecue and grill area, and then I end up merging this grill into the counter, and it doesn't work like this, unfortunately. I did have to make a few adjustments. I had to actually pull the barbecue out of the counter a little bit, and then I end up pulling the counter away from the barbecuer also. So you'll see that in the screenshots. I think it ends up looking just fine in the end, but I definitely wanted to make sure that worked, because what's the point of having the barbecuer out there if you can't even grill on it? And then I also end up moving the sink do I? Yeah, no, I end up keeping the sink where it is, but I end up putting the bar that matches this whole set. This whole set came with Perfect Patio, and so I end up putting that under the staircase, and it works just fine. I had the Sim make drinks. There's no issues there. I thought about putting it over where the sink is, but then it kind of clipped through the wall, and it just didn't really fit properly, and I thought I could cover it up on the interior because I have made the bars clip through the walls before, and they still work, and just covered up the other side of the wall. I believe I did that in my vacation dream house, if you guys seen that build. And that worked just fine, but decided not to for this one, but I think I leave it here for now. And so, yeah, I end up changing it later on, but I do really like the way this area turns out, and I think it's a pretty cool hangout area. You can grill up some food, see everybody playing in the pool. Like, this build has good views. I really like views in The Sims. It makes me like builds so much better when there's a great view. That was one thing that I really loved about my vacation dream house, was the views of the jungle. So pretty. And then anytime I build in San Myshuno and like any of the apartments, like I just did that Summer Breeze apartment. It has those large modern windows. Those are my favorite apartments to build in because you can just see the city so well, and it's so pretty. But this is a little hangout area on the top deck. And so you can get down to the lower deck from up here because there's that staircase, and there's also 2 doors that lead indoors. This door, the big one that was right in front of those, actually lead into like a social area of the upstairs, which is kind of cool. And then the other door leads into the teenager's bedroom. So that's kind of nice. She has a pretty cool place in the house. I decided to make that her room because it was smaller than the other side of the house, and I wanted the parents to have the bigger bedroom so they have like an ensuite and that kind of stuff. So that's why she gets the door to the outside. But here I am cluttering up this little table. Really cute little area for your Sims to, I don't know, pot plants. Maybe they can use that more when Seasons comes out. I know I've mentioned that I don't want to give spoilers, but this is like really difficult because I obsessively watch everything. But so plug your ears again. But with the whole botany career, I think is it going to be a hobby, a skill, or a career? I'm not really sure. But I imagine that when we get Seasons, you could exchange that table for whatever kind of activity items come with that, and you could place it in that greenhouse. So I was trying to keep that in mind while building. I mean, with the little bit that I knew at the time anyway. So, but here is where I put the little fire pit area and just put some little potted plants around just to decorate it up a little bit. Very, very cute. And then what else do I do over here? Oh yeah, a couple of trash cans, can't forget those. And then I add the massage tables over here, and then a little umbrella put over them so there's some shade. And I was going to do a larger seating area right here, but I decided not to. I didn't think it was too necessary. I kind of imagined this was a little bit more of a private area. I mean, not really. I mean, this is a family house, but I did imagine it to not be like a really social hangout area. Maybe the hot tub is a little bit. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But something that I did over here once I start adding lights to the exterior that I really like is I do those string lights from from Toddler Stuff Pack. The Toddler Stuff Pack string lights, I put it above the hot tub. So cute. I love those lights so much. I use them anytime I can. But now I'm adding lights to the exterior. I go with some large street lights to brighten up the edges of the lots, and I love this house at night. It's so pretty. And I try to place the lights in more realistic ways. Sometimes when I place outdoor lightings and random I just feel like it looks weird. So I did use it's like this single bar light. I do merge it into some of the potted plants on the windows, the window boxes, just to kind of make it a little bit more brighter on the exterior without having random lights around the house. But yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys like this build, and I hope you guys do watch part 2. I mean, I've never split up a build before, so I hope you guys don't mind that as well. But I'm really excited to share the interior with you guys. I'm really happy with the way this build turned out. It's, like I said, it's probably my best build I've ever done. I really like all of it, so I hope you guys will like it too. But anyways, I hope you guys will enjoy the screenshots, and thank you guys so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions that you have, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!